So hey lovelies, I have been contacted a couple of times to see when I was going to finish my ombre wig, and I have yet to finish. I have been working a lot, unfortunately. You know, bills have to come first, so I'm not to the point where I can make all my money off of YouTube yet. So I have to go to work, and I have basically finished the wig somewhat. It's just the top piece that the top of the wig that I have to finish. It doesn't take me long to sew all the hair onto the wig. It's it doesn't take me long to sew the hair. It takes me a long time when I do the closure piece, when I do the ventilation. If I bought a piece that was already like a closure piece, then it wouldn't have taken me long at all. I would have been able to get that right back up to you all within a week. But that's what's taking me the longest time is for me to do the ventilation. And I do plan on doing a tutorial on how I did the ventilation at the top of the wig once I get close to being done with the wig. But I just want to kind of show you my progress on it right now. Like this, but this is just all the top of it. So once I get this closure piece down, because the way I'm so close right here, then I'll be able to finish this. Now, once I get, I lay one more track down all the way around. And then what I do is I start kind of zigzagging back and forth through here, still about a finger length apart. Unless it starts looking bulky, then I do about 2 finger lengths apart, because I'm going to have to just go back and forth through here until I get to the top where the closure piece is at, okay? But, like I said, I went back to using my normal stitch that I'm used to just sewing with, because I sew. When I get to the very top and I need to hide my, stitches close to my closure piece, then I'll start laying those flat stitches that I did in the previous video when I started this off. But just to show you, I am putting just my index finger through here, and I'm going to lift this up. That's my index finger with the part. Do the same thing right underneath it. Index finger with the part. I did that all the way up, and when I lay my hair down, I make sure I go like this, and then I kind of look at it and guesstimate it, and then I lay my next track, and then I pin it with those threads. But anyway, I did them about maybe an index finger with the part, all of them going up, because I had enough hair to do that with. And a lot of people say do two finger widths apart, starting at the bottom and then turn into one like midway through going up to the top. So if you don't have enough hair, then you know your top will be okay, and then you know your back is going to be covered from your top anyway, so you don't need it as thick at the bottom. So this all depending upon you, but I did one index finger width all the way up. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it looks like right. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now, and like I said, it's just the very top piece right here, and this won't take me any time. This is where my closure is going to go at. Now the reason I didn't do this back part right here yet is, as you can see, I'm running out of room right here, so I need to lay down my lace closure right here, and then I can start sewing my lace closure down and then sew my hair on top of it so it's seamless once I finish it. And I only really use T-pins where I had to use them at. It was easier for me to use just the straight pins from out of a sewing kit on this. But I used that white pen to mark out where I wanted it, and this is about possibly where I'm going to have my part at. But the way I'm doing this closure, I can put my part any way I want to put it. So like I said, I'm doing ventilation, and I have it braided so it can stay out of my way right now. But I am, this is going to be the closure piece, and this is going to be the area of it right here. And as you can see, I'm having to put each little hair in there. So it's taking me a while. I have a long way to go. But I'm going to have to try to kick it in gear so I can hurry and get this finished, because I at least want it done by Christmas. But the hair is looking good. It feels great. So I'm going to be very excited once I finish so I can get it cut and styled. But as you can see right here, I kind of scrunched this up, and I just got some thread. I just only have to do, see if I can do it right here. One thing I did was pulled it up like this, and then I just started sewing. So the reason I did that is because I had a little extra at the top of my cap when I put it on, and so it could fit perfectly and lay down. It's not, you know, extra bulky that I have to have on top of my just that excess cap material on the top, so it can lay down flat because my hair is cut short. Then it'll be easier if I just go ahead and do this now, and I can just sew my hair and stuff on top of it like it's not even there, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to cut the cap or anything like that to get that accomplished, but I just went ahead and did that so I wouldn't have that extra material that was at the top. So when you put your cap on, just fit it the way you want it fitted around, well, position it the way you would like it positioned around your ears and at your forehead, where your hairline is going to be at, and have it positioned correctly in the back. And then all the extra that you just see, just go ahead and pinch it. And if you have to put a safety pin underneath it or have somebody help you to where they can pinch both sides, and then you just pull it off and start sewing and put it on a wig cap so you can mark your landmarks where you want it at. And then kind of just pull it up like I pulled it up and just start sewing. So I knew it was about how much I needed, so I just pulled it up and started sewing. And that's how I came up with that. But like I said, only thing I would have to do is lay my lace closure down right here. Go ahead and sew it down. And what I would do with this extra material, this is going to be the front of it. So about maybe right here. I just did this as baby hairs. I was just playing around with it. But if I, let's see. If I want this to be the very front of my wig cap and my baby hairs right up here, then I would kind of fold this under my wig cap right here and pull it really tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to position all this stuff and then take a picture of it. I'll come back on video and show it to you all so you won't be like, what the heck is she talking about? So give me a minute. Okay, so what I went ahead and did is I put my lace closure on my wig. As you can see, I have a lot of extra. This is not supposed to be a part of the closure, but I leave this extra back here just in case. Like you can see right now, I only have a little bit to work with right here. So if I needed to, I can pull my closure down some and work backwards. So it's not like, oh man, I messed up and I can't tuck this. I can always make it work. But what I did was I had a white outline on the actual closure piece, and then I had one on the black cap as well. So what I did was I went in the corner on the closure, and then I put a pin through it, and then I stuck it on the exact same point in the very back of that square. And that's how I did it all the way around. And so now it's pinned down, and I did it as tight as I possibly could. I didn't do the back, but I would do the back, and I would pull it as tight as I can pull it, and then I would just start sewing a little ways out and just go ahead and sew that down. I wouldn't do it exactly on my line, but I would do it just a little ways out, probably about right here, just right outside of it. And I would sew this all the way down in the square. And of course you would cut off your extra in the back, and I would cut it to where it's about the same width as it is over here. I would cut it back here, so about this much will be left in the back, and then that way I can just sew on top of this. But that's the way it's looking, so that way when I get ready to, no matter, I don't have to worry about it up here, so I can part it any way I want to part it when I get ready to. So that's what it's taking me so long. But anyways, let's see, like how I have this is just hair, because I don't cut the hair while I am sewing it. I just keep going. So while you're sewing on your wig cap, do not cut your lefts at all. But when you get closer to the top, you would have to. So what I would do is I would come right here, get this and bring this up when I get finished sewing this track down, and I would just lay this and still do the finger width apart, but I would start making sure I'm starting to lay it on my track. I mean, lay it on my closure piece. I'm sorry. So lay it down, lay it on your closure piece, and start sewing all the way around, and just keep doing that. And then I just get as close to here as I can. Now once I finish sewing all the back and coming on up and sewing this closure piece down, then if I have to start sewing in a square pattern to ensure that to ensure that I'm getting sewing all of this down and hiding all of my lace with my hair, then I will. So you just have to kind of maneuver it the way you need to maneuver it to ensure that your lace isn't showing. And the good thing about doing my ventilation is I can part my hair however I want. Now this piece in the front, I never use glue or anything like that. So what I would do is I would pull this, with this being sewn in the back, I would pull this as tight as I could possibly sew it. I mean, pull it as tight as I can possibly pull it. And let's see. Okay, so what I would have to do right here, because this is, I was thinking it had an extra layer underneath this part, but it doesn't underneath this elastic waistband. I mean, not elastic waistband. It doesn't have like an extra piece of cloth underneath this elastic down here. So it's just that elastic band. So what I would do is I would make sure that I would use a lot more of this in the back so I could pull this forward some more. And I will make sure, let's see, I'm going to kind of just demonstrate so y'all know what I'm talking about. So instead of going forward on this wig cap, I mean, not the wig cap, instead of going forward on my lace closure, what I am going to do is work backwards. I go forward a little bit, but I am mostly going to go backwards because what I want to do, let's see here, I want to still make sure I keep my same area. So I would have to redo my markings on here. So it's a good thing that I use this much material. So after I sew all this down really good, and make sure once you sew this side and you go sew the once you sew one side of your closure piece down, you want to make sure you pull it really tight to the other side and then start sewing the back and sewing this side down, because you want it to lay as flat as possible, okay? So because I don't want to sew on my elastic band right here, I'm going to make sure that I have enough length to, see if I can do this without this move. I didn't use my holder today to be able to. Now what I would do, the only reason I'm not doing this is because I don't have my hair sewed down in the back. But what I would do is get this, and I would turn this whole thing inside out and put it down on the other side. And as you can see how I just tucked this, I would sew this. I would pull it really tight. Okay, all right, so just remember to make sure you have everything nice and tight, and then that way when you flip it over, and you can have your extra little hairs, and then you can also, when I can show you my ventilation, you can also ventilate some baby hairs coming out of there when you flip it over, so it looks nice and natural and you don't have to have any of your hair out. But this is how I did it, and like I said, I never want to mess with this band, even around my ears or anything like that, because, and I'll probably cut this off, but, well, I know I will. But because I don't want to mess with the elasticity of this band, because I want to make sure once I do this, I'm not going to have to try to come back and redo it. But I'm excited to get it done. Hopefully, like I said, by December, I want this wig done. And I can get on. If you start following me on Google+, you will see me post my picture of the complete thing with me wearing it. So once I get it done, I will post it on Google+. So I'm having to go back and redo this because, of course, my camera didn't want to act right. But what we're going to do is, once you have this nice, good and turned over and it's nice and tight, what you should do, let's see if I can focus this a little bit better for you all. Okay. Is get your, of course, this will be threaded. Get this, go through your top layer of your closure. Make sure it's just your top layer. Oops, I'm sorry, top layer. And get that and bring it all the way up and pull from right here and stitch it right here. And then pull that all the way up and through. And then it's your next stitch down. Put it right here and put it underneath this black cap. So it'll only be 2 stitches. You're going to start right here. Just go through the top layer and make it go through right here. Pull it on up. Oops, I got caught in something. I'm sorry. And then loop it back around. Stick your needle in it again right here and loop it back around right here. And then when you come back down again, start sewing your edges. This is where it's pulling this to where this is nice and tight. And then what you'll do is you would pull and sew, pull and sew, pull and sew, okay? And then once I get right above this elastic band on this side, what I would do is kind of do the same thing as I did on this side, but in reverse. So right here, I would come down here, and then I would sew it back up to somewhere over here, and then I bring that down and then sew right here. Or you can try to sew it off in the corner to help pull it off back over this way. But just to make sure this is secure, that's what you need to make sure you do on the bottom. And you need to be really careful because, of course, your closure is on the other side, and you want to be able to part your hair where you kind of want to part it at. So this will be a little more trickier if you can't, because this is the width. You know, there's nothing different. You would probably be sewing along the same lines that you sewed down your closure on the other side. So you're probably not going to go in the middle where you're going to ventilate at, because you can still see the white lines on here. So just sew right here, like I said, up at the top and then back down again. It's the only place up through here that you will be catching some of your ventilation. So you need to just be careful going through this back part back here. You can't really avoid that, but on the sides you should be okay, because like I said, that's where you sew down your hair and you sew down, you're on the outside of that white line. So that's just everything that's sewed down right in the middle, right through here. If you can see this line right here, and the other line is right here. So right down in the middle is your ventilation. All right, so I hope this helped. Okay, loves, hopefully I have helped you and not royally confused you. If I have, please let me know. And this Saturday, I am going on vacation, and I will sit down and do this step by step, except for my closure piece won't be completed, but I will lay it down.